Got a couple of rolling carts right here. You know, everything in this small shop needs to be on wheels. Well, I also have some things up in the loft. If you've watched my previous videos, CNCs, laser engravers, 3D printers, and a Cricut die cutter, Cricut maker. Need a place to kind of put all those. I've got them kind of sitting all over up there. So got these, and we're going to talk about it coming up. I'm Roger, welcome to the shop, and what I'm going to be covering here, and actually I'm going to be doing a little bit of a review on them because these are not expensive carts. I know a lot of people put their CNCs and that on rolling tool chests and rolling workstations, and that's fine. But normally I put mine on a very solid surface. If a 3D printer, a CNC router, or CNC laser engraver need to be on a very solid surface, because as those stepper motors move, if that base starts to move, your work will move, the thing will shake, and it won't turn out very well. But I need a kind of a place to store them and be able to move them around, hence these are on wheels. And I needed a new home for my Cricut Maker die cutter and the Easy Press and the various accessories that come with that. Right now I keep all these things up in the loft because there's no dust up there. When I am using the CNC router, I bring it down here in the shop because I can make dust here, and then I keep it stored up there to keep it clean and out of harm's way. Laser engraving I definitely do up there. I don't want any dust around. All my 3D printing is done up there. But as I said, I needed a good place to store these to be able to move them around. So Michael's had a sale on these. They were $79.95, and if you bought one, you could get the second one for $79.95. Only difference was I bought one black and one white just because they had plenty of each. But I could have built some carts, and the problem is I just don't have the time right now. We've got so many things going on with the restoration house and the nursery and the various things that go on in the shop here. And even though I'm retired, it seems like I'm busier now than when I was working. But at any rate, we're going to take these upstairs and go up into the loft, and I'm sure I'm going to have to put them together. We'll see how that goes. Okay, up here in the loft, if you've watched any of my 3D printer or any of the CNC videos, you've seen this location. This is actually the kitchen area of this apartment up here. We used to use it as a guest house. We could if we needed to. I just have to move all my junk out of the living room and kitchen here. There's two bedrooms up here. There's a bathroom up here. And it's a full kitchen. There's a stove over there, and there's a refrigerator. We got a microwave, toaster oven, and all that kind of good stuff. But I've been using this kind of as a work area and a little bit of a studio, hence you see the lights in here. And when I'm working on, for example, this 3018 CNC right here has a CNC it's CNC router installed on it right now, and the laser's just kind of sitting there. Got done with the project and haven't put it away yet. Got a little station for my laptop over there, and of course got to have a coffee pot up here. Coffee filters, coffee, all the necessary things. And then over here on the other side, it becomes kind of a jumble because I have my SaneSmart CNC sitting over here. I have some filament for 3D printers, some more accessories, a couple extra chairs. And then I've got a 3D printer sitting there. I've got another one sitting here. And these are sort of stable. They're not as stable as I like. It's this very solid oak coffee table. So I don't think my wife would appreciate me having that machine on there, but it doesn't make a mess or scratch anything. And that end table back there is fairly solid, but it does shake a little bit. So generally when I'm doing something in 3D printing that is needs to be precise, I move it over into the table in the kitchen there. Well, now I have this Cricut Maker die cutter. Right now it's just sitting on a chair. So I need to put this stuff on something. Hence I got the carts. So we got to move a little furniture and stuff around, and we'll put these things together and see how well they work out. Well, we're going to start out with here is to see what's in the box. We'll take everything out and lay it on this really fancy tablecloth here that covers up this antique oak table that I'd get killed if I scratched the top up on it. Yep, some assembly required. Quite sure how to go about this. But wait, there's more. Okay, got a bag of casters here. That's for the bottom, obviously. And 3 connected bags of hardware and an alien wrench, also known as an Allen wrench. And I have a better solution than that, but that would work. Put it together. Looks like you also need a Phillips screwdriver. But overall, not that much hardware. This shouldn't be too hard. And let me get the plastic off everything here. This is obviously the top and the shelf and some rods. Well, the edges here are not real sharp, but I'd still be careful. This is not real heavy gauge steel, but it should do for what we're going to do with this here, this application. This is meant for crafting and for crafters. And I guess when you're messing with a die cutter and CNCs and laser engravers, little CNCs like this, I guess that's a craft. And I'm going to pause the video here. You don't need to watch me unwrap stuff. Okay, got everything out here and unwrapped and unpacked, and casters out of their bag. Got little brakes on them so that your cart doesn't roll away from you when you're trying to use it. Even comes with this really, really, really cheap little wrench for holding that, I guess, tightening that up into the legs. I will probably use something a little better when I put this together. It does come with an Allen wrench here for these bolts. It's 4mm. If you have one of these, it'll make things go a lot quicker. If you're not familiar with it, it's like a screwdriver, but it has a ball Allen on the end of it. And you can, instead of messing with that little Allen wrench there, you just stick that in there and away you go. The instructions that come with it. This is extremely simple to assemble, and it's all kind of by pictures. The only thing I did notice here on the reverse side, there's a little fold-up side table, and the weight limit on that is 2.2 pounds or 1 kilogram. That's not much, so don't try to sit on it. But I'm going to put this together, and we'll see how it goes. I don't think I'm going to video putting screws in the ends of these rods, because every one of these is threaded on the end. You just follow the picture here and put all the screws in the rods and put the ends on it, and that's it. Pretty simple. So here's the whole unit put together. Took me about 15 minutes. On the wheels, this little wrench they give you is absolutely garbage. If you have one of these, it's 12 M&Ms, that's millimeters, although that does make me want a snack. It's a 12mm wrench. You definitely will have to have an open end. That'll work a whole lot better than that little cheesy thing they give you with it. Otherwise, assembly was very straightforward. The only thing you really need to watch is the center bar right here. You could accidentally put it in upside down. I caught myself right away as I was putting this together when I noticed that the bars didn't line up. So a quick little flip around. It is possible to over tighten these. I did want to make sure they were snug so they wouldn't wobble. Of course, that's just the wheels moving a little bit. Something I added because I wanted to make sure these didn't come loose again. And this isn't going to get, you know, like really rough use or anything like downstairs in the shop. But I use this Loctite Thread Locker 242. It is not permanent. You can get it off again if you need to take something back out. But it will keep those from vibrating loose because, as I said, you can over tighten these. And the tighter you make them, the more the metal compresses, and eventually they could work loose. This will prevent that. I already had some up here. I use it when I assembled my CNC machines and my 3D printers. So it's a good little thing to have for that. Okay, what I'm going to do next is, this is the white one. I will unpack the black one, get it all set up, and then I'll do a kind of a fast motion video of putting it together. It's very, very simple and very straightforward. Okay, it's just that easy. Nothing to it, about 15 minutes. Actually, the second one took me even less time because I I'd already done one. Learning curve was over. So what is this exactly? It is the Essex cart by Recollections or something like that. Yep, Recollections. At least the white one is. The other one, the black one, has a different brand name on it, but it still says Essex cart. It's the same thing, it's just different color. I've got these Michaels once again, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video. So we're going to load these up and set some machines on it and see how it looks. Well, here's how it looks. Got both of my 3D printers on the top of the black one and my Anvil 3018 CNC, which I usually use just for laser engraving, underneath. And on the other one here, I've got my Cricut Maker on top. I had room for the Easy Press down there, and my SaneSmart CNC router can be stored down there. And I could put all my various accessories and whatnot for both the Cricut and the Easy Press and this one, and everything for my 3D printing and CNC and laser engraving in this black one, with the exception of filament. I'm not going to store filament in here. I have a specific dry box for filament. Of course, our humidity right now is only 15%, so I'm not concerned about this spool sitting out like this and absorbing moisture. But in the summertime, or when it gets more humid, all the filament will be stored in a dry box so that it doesn't inherit any moisture, because that makes problems. And if you're into 3D printing, you know exactly what I'm talking about. That's my overview of the Essex carts. Chariot, Essex, I guess it depends which box you look at. One's got one brand, one's got the other, but they're basically the same thing. Obviously, they're not sturdy enough to actually use these 3D printers on it because they will wobble. And if you do any 3D printing or CNC engraving and stuff, you know that has to sit on a very solid surface. I use this oak table I have in here is very solid. When I'm doing 3D printing, I have that setting on that oak table. When I'm doing CNC routing, the router sets on my table saw down in the shop for two reasons. Number one, it makes dust and chips that go everywhere, and it's easy to clean up down there with my dust collection equipment. And the other reason is the way my table saw build is, with the router table and everything built into it, it's pushing 1,000 pounds. That thing does not move. It's extremely solid. And I know that that cast iron top is perfectly flat. So when I'm doing that type of work with the CNC router, I know nothing's going to move. If I'm doing laser engraving with this Anvil 3018 Pro, it's fine right here on the table, but what I did find accidentally, the hard way, was I was laser engraving some wood that was making a lot of smoke, and I set off all the smoke detectors up here. So now when I do laser engraving on wood, I take the thing downstairs, do my laser engraving, and then bring it back up here when I'm done. If I'm laser engraving on tile, a ceramic tile with that little thin paint film, the amount of smoke is negligible and it doesn't cause any problems. Wood, on the other hand, different story. But I'm happy with these carts for what they cost. Like as I showed, the assembly was extremely easy, very simple. I put together toys at Christmas for my grandchildren and great-grandchildren that were more complicated than this. And there's no decals or stickers to put on with this. If you got kids, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, if you got something out of that, I appreciate getting a thumbs up. Of course, always looking for subscribers. Next to that subscribe button's a little bell. If you ring that bell, you'll be notified when I post another video. I'm Roger, not in the shop, but up in the loft, playing with my new carts. See you in the next one.